34 feels pretty close to 52. I'm not gonna lie.
That's now we are halfway through this podcast. We're halfway to 69.
All right, what's up, bitches? Welcome to episode 30 of the Coffee Club podcast. The boys are all here in our studio, back in the kitchen. Feels good to be here. We've had a lot of stuff going on these last few days / 2 weeks, I guess. We've been, for you guys, Ollie's the biggest workhorse out of everyone. Ollie has to do anything that we have to do collectively as a team. Ollie has to do that and more. And so in the last 2 weeks, we've had the Penn Relays trip, which was pretty long, getting to the East Coast and all that. Then these boys went to California last week, which was nice, like a bit of a shorter trip. But then coming back straight into it, literally the next day, we've been filming for a commercial for On, which is, it's big time, like big production, like a lot of money. Not gonna say any numbers, but it's a lot of money.
We were told the numbers, and it's a lot of money.
And yeah, it's just like a lot of work. And so if we sound a little tired today, it's because of that. The boys have been through the ringer, so luckily that's over now, and we're just kind of getting back into everything. But
I just had a crazy thought when you said we're back in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
We're gone next week. We only have one more episode at this location. That's
so
scary.
sad.
It is true.
Yeah,
we'll get to that.
We move at the end of this month, so I'm not looking forward to that. But
do we have an announcement about moving? Should we do that?
Oh, yeah.
Now that I somehow brought that up.
Yeah, we're not 100% on this, but
honestly, Steve came out of Steve's mouth, so yeah. At this point he's locked in.
Wait,
if anyone, yeah, you went there, Steve.
There's information to me that I haven't heard yet, so I'm like, what the fuck's going on? I don't know, what is he?
Our boss,
kind of Steve.
He's in charge of OAC.
Has put out an official message that if you're a high schooler in Boulder and you're willing to come help us move shit, he will give you free on gear. That's basically what it boiled down to, right?
Yeah, that was it. And that's pretty good pay because
good deal.
Even the cheapest on gear is worth
$300.
A lot of pennies.
So if you want some free on shoes, you can come, I don't know, lift some boxes in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it'll be the end of this month. I don't know. I mean, what if we actually just had like 30 kids just
helping
us move? And then
that'd be pretty sweet.
We'd probably have to get them to sign some forms because we got some pretty heavy stuff that would crush them and maybe like injure
And we'd
them.
also have to make sure we like give them a contract that they will get gear because if there's 30 of them, hopefully each one of them gets like at least something.
Yeah, what
if you're willing to take that risk, that was a legit offer or not,
yeah,
let us know.
We'll see.
Coffee Club moving house in a couple of weeks.
We'll see what happens there. But before we get into anything more, we do want to start giving some updates in regards to the merch, which if you follow us on Instagram, you've seen us post about it a bit. And I mean, just generally, if you've been following us, you know that we've talked about merch in some form for months now. It's been a real slow process just because we want to do it right. And the way that we're going to do it now is the pre-order model, which if you're not familiar with it, it's where we make some samples of the stuff. We take photos, show them so you know exactly what you're getting. And then we actually put them for sale for a period of time, a week or so, and then you can buy them, but we haven't made them yet. So once we close that sale period, then the production starts, and from there it's probably 6 weeks, 8 weeks, something like that until they get to you. So we didn't want to do it initially because of that very reason, where we have your money for a relatively long time before you get the product, which we don't want to do. But just with the logistics of it being the first time we're doing any form of merch and the amount of the investment would be like money wise for us to put in for that, just with the risk, it's like it doesn't really make sense. So this is how we're going to do it, and so we'll keep you updated with that. I think we're going to just touch on it every podcast from now on until it gets done, which I think will still be a month, 2 months. And follow us on Instagram as well. Updates will be on there, but that's where we are with merch. So it is coming though. Pretty excited. I think once we get it, I'm just going to rock the shit out of it.
I'm not wearing anything else.
Yeah.
I think what will be nice, that even though it is pre-ordered, at least we would have seen the samples, and we're not going to offer it for pre-order unless we think the samples look good. So we're gonna know if they're good to go or not.
Yeah, and we really appreciate like a lot of the feedback we got from just numbers and figuring out what to do that way, because like obviously we want to make sure that people want to wear us in cowboy attire, which I'm like super excited about. I think the design from Aget was really sick, so shout out to her for that. But I'm excited, and we appreciate your patience on it, because it will be sick. Like, we will get it done, and it will be done quality. So
yeah, at the end of the day, that's it. Like, we want it to be done quality, and we put out a poll on our Instagram to try get an idea before we decide to do the pre-owned model, and just to give like some context for it. I think if we and we knew this going into it, that the polling numbers were going to be a little bit inaccurate, but if we followed them to the letter, I think it would have cost us, like, I don't want to throw numbers out there. Well,
because it's a fuck ton of money. Let's just say that, because like we got really good response. I mean, I think it was about 1,000 each item.
Yeah, which is unrealistic.
Which is unreal, but we don't know if like that's actually people like you guys would want to buy it, or you're just giving us support.
Yeah.
in one item, and then just like all the items. So
yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty sick, and it's a good problem to have, really.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. That's that for now, the merch. But yeah, we'll give you updates going on. But yeah, so these boys got back from Sound Running, so obviously that's going to be the main thing we cover. But I just want to give a little update on myself as well, because I haven't really talked about my own running for a while. It has been going pretty well. Did 20 by 400 yesterday, solo. It's kind of shit because I'm not on the same schedule as you guys, and I won't be for the foreseeable future, because as we get into races, I think it's going to get even harder for the next, I don't know, maybe until Worlds. I don't know if we'll be on the same schedule.
I think maybe before Worlds, because there's going to be a period, particularly in like June, July, leading into Worlds, where we're all going to be here, and I think we'll all be in reasonable shape enough to like be able to, like, not as much mileage, but quality workouts. I think.
Yeah, I think you'd be surprised. Partly just because I think at some point Rich is just going to say,
throw you at the wall.
Just throw you in it.
Man, he's already done
Which
it.
is
20
already
by
done,
400. Like, I was like, what the heck? I've never even done that before, but it does feel good. Like, it just feels good to be back working out and having my body actually feel okay.
Good pain, not bad pain. Yeah.
Good pain, exactly. Yeah. So it's been going really well, and the plan for now for me is to race in June, which I was a bit surprised by. I didn't really think about it because I just wasn't in the racing mindset, because I was just in the like get healthy training mindset. But these boys are gonna go for a quick trip to Birmingham next week, and then the end of the month is pre, and then for the month of June, like, the team's going to be mostly in Europe. I guess half of the month in Europe. And so the whole team actually is going over at the start of June. That's the plan for now. So
Which is sick.
That's really freaking sweet.
It's going to be so cool. We're all going to be in Zurich. What do they do in Zurich?
I don't know. Just throw gold bars.
Yeah, what did Jonas say?
Just be rich.
Just be rich.
Just measure our gold. I don't know.
Like fiddle with Rolexes and eat
we'll come back with no money.
Yeah. But it'll be worth it. But yeah, so we're all going to be in Europe for 2 weeks, and these guys obviously doing pretty high profile races. I'll be getting into my racing with low profile races over there, and spending the whole month of June hopefully in Europe racing. So that's kind of my plan, getting into it. But I cannot wait to go on an actual race trip, because by June, it'll be almost 12 months since I raced. I can't remember when the Olympics was, which was my last race. It was it August?
I think it was early August.
Yeah.
Or was it?
Yeah, so it's like 10 months.
August is about, so about 10,
10, which is kind of crazy.
It is
that
crazy.
time went really quick.
Yeah. But it's good to, like, particularly for coming from the Olympics, you were like fucked. So it's pretty cool to see the transition from being completely crippled to now being able to do 20 by 400. So it's been cool to be.
So going to Europe for racing is what freaking being a pro runner is all about.
I mean, that's the thing. Like,
so
that's what you
sign
sign up for.
It's so freaking fun.
It's what you sign up for. Like, literally, Geordie, Alicia and I last year did Leuven for a little bit. It wasn't really like a crazy Europe trip, but it's just like so much fun, because like you run into Matt Hughes. We run into like a lot of runners.
Pros are there.
Yeah, we run into a lot of pros that you might not like necessarily spend a lot of time with during the domestic season, but in the European like races, you get to know them and have fun with them and go and see cool places and eat pretty good food.
And the rest of the year feels pretty similar to what you do in college.
Yeah,
you do training in fall, you do American races. Like this isn't that different, but going to Europe and having a good time in the summer, like that's what kind of sets it apart. So that'll be June.
So that's the plan for now. It is crazy that you say the comeback from me being a cripple, because I was thinking about this when I was warming down. I was like, man, Rich definitely didn't know what he was signing up for. Like when he I
knew what he was signing up for.
No, well, I mean in terms of injury, because I didn't know how injured I was.
Yeah, you were pretty fucked.
Like I didn't know. I had no idea that it would take me this long. I've talked about this before, where it's like I had these injuries, but more so than the injuries was all these movement patterns. Like the way that I ran by the time I was done with that season was just so bad. I had no idea it would take me this long and this much work and this much patience to be feeling like myself again, or whatever you want to call it. So
yeah, that's funny that you say that, because I feel like I had the same thought because when I signed, like literally when I was signing my contract, I'd been not running for 3 months and had like 2 broken shins, and I was like, dude, I don't know if Ritz knows what he's getting himself into here.
Yeah,
like seriously. I had that exact same thought.
And look at you now, like.
No, it's pretty
system.
sweet,
The system will prevail if you put the effort and time in which you have done, Morgan. So I'm
Definitely.
excited. I'm very excited. Yeah. I know
Morgan's also just being like super humble. This dude walks around in like
Morgan's
13, 20
the one thing, and I know people actually fans of the pod have actually commented about, is that Morgan's been very, very good at giving Geordie and I the spotlight in our racing.
All right, let's just move on now. So sound running.
Let me say,
honestly.
But we really appreciate that, and that's like what makes our like lives living as professional runners and being able to be part of Morgan's kind of progression been so fun and inspiring. So it's been great. Quickly before we move on, we got to do an update on Gus. So we got back. Gus had some issues. He was, I think it's separation anxiety. Yeah. He's very, very stressed and depressed when people aren't around, particularly sleeping in the bed. I think that's the one thing. Like when the room's empty, he'll get onto the bed, there's no one there, and he'll be a sad boy. Apparently he didn't go to the bathroom for like 2 days or something.
It was a strong 24 hours from when Ollie left that he has his little donut bed right next to Ollie's bed, and he just laid in it and just wouldn't come out. He like food, toilet, nothing. And he reminded me of, I think I already said this to you, of SpongeBob when SpongeBob gets drunk in the movie.
The Goofy Goober, yeah.
Yeah, when he drinks too much
sad,
and he's super depressed. Have you seen SpongeBob movie, George? No. Oh, you gotta watch it. It's really good.
It's pretty funny. But yeah, that's pretty much what Gus was. And then I got back and I was pretty tired just from everything going on. But Gus got me up 5 times in the night to have diarrhea. And then he's had diarrhea for the past 2 days.
Yeah.
And then now he's all back to normal, but he was just shocking.
Yeah.
He just liquid diarrhea flying out.
You hate to see it.
He hate to see it, but he's better now. He's just chilling. But yeah, I thought I'd give people a Gus update because people wanted to know how he's doing. But he's doing better now.
How much does he weigh? Didn't he go to the vet when you were gone?
66 pounds.
Wait, he's 66?
I thought he was just 60.
No, he's 66.
He's cracked big 6-0.
Because they thought
crazy.
He was 70, but he's 66.
Wow. And his dad was 80 something?
His dad was 75.
Oh, that's not that much less even.
But I think what happens is, like with Bulldogs in particular, with him, he doesn't get taller or longer, he just gets wider.
His belly just gets closer to the
ground. Even with him, like it's been hard, obviously, to try and get him to do exercise, particularly when it's hot. Like, you got to be careful at altitude. From what the vet was telling me, like 15 minutes max when he's walking, which is like nothing, because he just gets cooked. But yeah, I think he's got a lot of energy at night, which we're trying to get out of him. But
The zoomies.
But he's doing good. He's doing good. We're hoping a lot of people, we'll get into it, but a lot of people are hoping he'll come to a meet someday, and we're going to work it out and get him there, and he's going to have his little outfit.
Steve was behind that, no?
Steve was 100% behind it.
Really?
Yeah. Steve was like, we could pay someone to drive the dogs down, stay at Airbnb that's dog friendly, and then they'd have like a gate area near the beer garden on a field, like at Sound Running.
That's genius.
And then they'd have like dog tags.
So ridiculous, but so good.
Dogs of the OAC, and then they'd have dog tags where they'd have like, hi, my name's Tucker, Joe, in brackets, Joe's dog. And they'd have like Bert for Alicia, you know.
That'd be so good.
And then Gus would be under him, he'd just be Coffee Club Collective.
So. That would be, man. Well, now we've spoken that to the world, I think that it has to happen.
The commitment will be there. We just got to pick
You can't just like not let that happen now.
Nah, it's going to happen. So that's going to get a lot
Sound
of
running
people
next year.
Yeah, it's going to get a lot of people in California hopefully excited, and they'll come and see Goosey.
Yeah. So talking about Sound Running, boys, back out there. You guys have done that trip like a lot of times now, huh?
I think George and I have done the LA trip how many times this year? Last year we did a lot, but how many times this year?
The second time?
I think just
second
twice this year.
Oh, yeah.
And then, did we go last year?
I went.
Well, you went a couple of times.
So 30 times last year.
Yeah.
But the Sound Running is just getting from strength to strength, and it's been getting better and better. I think George and I, after Penn, just a little bit depressed with what was going on, but then the crowd, the engagement, and what On did at that meet was pretty freaking sweet.
So it's just a meet that works really well, especially for us.
Yeah.
LA is only hour and a half flight or something. It's in a sweet spot. It's like half an hour from the airport. We're at the beach. It's always nice weather to run. We get to hang out at a good coffee shop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good setup for us, and it was great because obviously having Jakob Ingebrigtsen come in, creates a lot of.
I thought there were going to be more people there for Jakob.
I do agree, but also like I think Jakob's fan base is American. There's a lot of American, but it's very European as well. So
maybe
I think you got to take that into account. But dude, we were doing warm up, and he runs by, he says hello. But we're doing warm up, and then these girls running in, all Norwegian gear with the flag and everything.
They're wearing a Viking helmet.
A Viking helmet.
It was
like,
pretty sweet.
Can you imagine going like for our sport in particular? You never really see it where like, for example, say the Olympic champion Matt Centuit's races in a European race. I don't think you would see people dressing up in Uncle Sam costume to see Matt Centuit. You know what I mean?
Hilarious. No,
I mean, I'll definitely do that for.
I agree with you.
But it's just like the hype around him is quite legit. So it was cool for the meet, and it was exciting to see so many people there, excited about the coffee club, excited about OAC and our group. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty awesome.
Was, in regards to the pacing, did you guys talk to Jakob at all about it, or was it just like you're pacing Joe?
Well, we're pacing Joe.
We didn't even tell anyone how fast we were running.
No.
You know how sometimes
Muhammad was in the bathroom, the guy that got second, he had a great race. He said, "What are you racing?" And I said, "Oh, I'm actually pacing." And he asked like what the pace was. I said, "Oh, it's like 13:10." And he's like, "Oh, awesome." So like, it wasn't, and it was a bit disorganized at the start. Like they didn't really get us to. I thought they were gonna get us to like me and George at the paces. This is the pace we're doing.
They didn't do that.
No, usually
there wasn't even space for everyone on the line. People had to start in the second row.
That's because lane 1 was empty.
Did you guys start on the inside or outside?
We started on the outside. But yeah, the plan was like Joe knew what we were doing. I think most other people knew it was going to be 13:10 pace. And then me and George, because we weren't sure like what we're going to do, and me and George kind of talked through, and George is like, okay, I'll take the first 2 laps. George is going to take it to 2K, and then I'll take it for 3K. And then I think Ritz was like, not any further. He doesn't want us to be overcooked because it's been a big, and we had the shoot and everything, and we were doing a workout afterwards anyway. So anyway, we started the race, and then there was a false start, and it was quite funny because we turned around and I just looked at all the guys. I was like, all right, who was it? And they all had a giggle. But when the race got going, we were on pace, and then George took over after that and was textbook.
Textbook George.
Abdi Hamid made us go out in like 29
Abdi Hamid wouldn't let me in to lane 1. I had to yell at him and say, mate, you want me to fucking pace or not? Because he just wouldn't give me the inside. I was like, do you think I'm here to like, what am I here for? Just for show?
Yeah.
We actually did yourself? We actually did it in a smart way, I think. Because Ollie went 800, and then I just ran the next, whatever, to 2,500.
Yeah.
25.
So then it's like 1,700, like just over a mile.
Yeah, and then I took it to 3K.
Yeah.
It was very well.
Made it pretty easy.
7:55, perfect.
7:53.
Oh, you went 7:53?
Yeah.
I saw Kleck, it was 7:55.
Yeah.
He was in like 10th.
He was back.
Yeah, he was back.
Dude, he's pretty good at racing, I gotta say. He's pretty good at finding a spot and then finding the right time to move up.
He definitely did a great job. He said, obviously, it'd be nice to have him here so he could tell us, but he said that he kind of was asleep a little bit because he was more focusing on getting the time more than like racing at certain points in the race. And then I think in the last K, he really started to ramp it up, and then he closed fantastic. I think he closed in a 56 off that pace, which is pretty impressive. I mean, Jakob closed in a 54 high, so really good close from Joe, a 10K bloke who's in amazing shape. George did amazing pacing, and then I finished it off, and it was funny because I think when I finished and turned around, everyone's just showing out coffee club when I'm looking back. Yeah, and they're not even paying attention to the race. But
that's fun.
No, it was a really awesome, well done meet. I think George and I what workout do we do afterwards?
We just did some 200s. 12 times 200.
The better rest. 200.
Yeah, and Henrik and Jakob were getting into our lane, and we had to kind of tell them to.
Yeah, we just went like 30-30.
Wait,
my boy.
Did you guys have to wait until the 10Ks were done?
No, we just went in like lane 5.
Oh.
My boy Ingy.
That's what's kind of nice about sound running too. It's pretty chill.
Yeah, we were able to like we weren't allowed to cross the line, but we were able to do like a 200. And Ingy was doing all his interviews and stuff, so that's my name for him.
And then they ended up working out. They waited till late.
Well, okay, he did an interview saying that like they asked him, "Well, you got to work out after this." He did an interview and he said, "No, I'm going to bed. Like this is it. This is done." Yeah, and then we started doing a after race workout, and then all of a sudden him and Henrik like an hour and a half later, started doing 400s or 300s.
And the lights went out of the stadium, and they were just still going. It was pitch black.
They couldn't see shit.
It looked pretty sick.
They turned their watch light on so they could like see in front of their face, but
it looked really cool. Actually.
It was pretty funny.
It was funny.
But he handled it really well because he got swarmed.
Jakob?
And, yeah, I think he's just really well because I think he's been through the media his whole life, so he's just handled it really well.
Yeah. It's crazy that he's still only 21 or what.
Yeah, I know. It's wild, eh?
It seems very mature.
He's a big boy for 21.
Really?
Yeah, he's big guy.
Is he bigger than us?
Dude, yeah.
I think so. Yeah. But he handled like he did a great job. Muhammad as well from Germany.
Yeah. He was loving it.
He had a great time. He came up and thanked us for the pacing. I mean, everyone thanked us for the pacing except for one person.
I was wondering if you were bringing this up.
Mike Smith, if you're listening,
crazy.
You're welcome.
He thanked me.
Yeah, he thanked you, of course, because he coached you. But, the guy that led it to 3K and told Abdi to get back in line so he could run his collegiate record.
Yeah.
Don't thank me. It's fine.
Did you make eye contact with him or anything?
Literally next to him.
Oh, no.
And all the boys were there, and Geordie was there, and they were all saying thank you, or like chatting about it. Nico, Abdi, Hamid, and then all of a sudden Mike just turned around and walked away. And I was like, that's how it is, buddy. You know that invite to the pod isn't going to be there for that much longer. If you're gonna
I wonder what's going on.
But honestly, it doesn't. He was probably busy, fucking, I don't know,
coaching or something.
Quadruple threshold after their 5K. So
I had dinner with the NAU boys in Smithles the night before.
Smithles
and
Smith's chips.
He did like one of the first. He said something about the Mike's Hard Mile or something that we were talking about on the pod. So
Wait,
I don't know.
So he does listen.
I don't know if he was listening or if someone was telling him, but
wait,
that's pretty funny.
That's an NAU thing. That's not us.
Yeah.
I also got to meet Rachel for the first time.
Rachel Schneider. She's really
Rachel
cool.
Smith.
Zach
Rachel
Snyder's,
Smith.
Zach Snyder's sister.
Maybe.
Yeah, Rachel Schneider.
Lovely,
yeah, she's Rachel
lovely
Smith. Is she
person.
Rachel Smith now?
I think so.
Yeah, she's cool, man. I'm glad I got to meet her finally. So that was dope.
She's very cool.
Ellie Haynes hasn't paid George back yet.
How much does she owe you?
Oh, what's
inflation's at like 10%, so you do the math. $100?
$100 probably right now. She said she'd read my zodiac or whatever, so because she's an actual witch. So
yeah, we chatted some star signs at Bear Coast. Also, I guess, I mean, I don't want to shout her out because she owes me money, but she ran the world standard with one shoe.
Wow.
Wait, what happened?
That we need to add super shoes to the freaking overrated list.
Yeah.
Her shoe came off with, what is that, a mile and a half to go? Did you not see that?
No.
Yeah, dude, she ran with one spike and one sock for 6 laps.
Crazy.
And ran the world standard.
How were her feet after that? Because remember when Kieran did that, his feet were fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she posted a photo of her foot. Not that bad because she was wearing a sock. That's why you wear socks. Racing, apparently, in case you get flat tired.
Congratulations and salutations and pay George back, please.
Yeah. My couple of takeaways from the 5K were, one, good to see Abdi take the lead and not be a little bitch and complain like he did to me that one time.
Yeah, I remember that. Direct, remember?
I was impressed that he went right behind the paces and he wasn't afraid to take the pace. Clearly, he's very confident and he's like, what's the point? He knew that he could run. I'm not going to say easily, but he knew he was going to run under 13:15. He's like, what's the point of not going for the record?
Also, when you're up the front, there's just less traffic and you're more relaxed. Like, well, not more relaxed, but you're just more out of, like, no clipping, no knocking around. It's probably another thing too. He doesn't have to worry about that sort of stuff. He just gets on the train and lets it roll. Go to sleep. He didn't say go to sleep. He said night.
Mike did?
Yeah, he didn't say go to sleep. He said night.
I didn't know that.
You knew what it meant though.
Yeah, I know, but like I was like, dude, that's like going to that's going to like the Marvel Cinematic Universe movie and saying the Captain America guy doesn't say Avengers Assemble. He says Avengers Unite.
Not the same.
Not the same. It's a letdown. Didn't say he's
That's half the reason you went out there.
It's like, say the line, mate.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's the whole point of me pacing. Like, I didn't pace for Joe.
I just want to hear the line.
I just want to hear the line. And he said 99. I was like, I was going to
should have stepped off the track.
I was going to step off the track right then and there because I was like, it's like going to a Marvel movie and Captain America says Avengers Unite. Just an absolute.
What a letdown. That's funny. My other one was, it was low-key a long time since Joe Klecker last raced, right? I was trying to think about that.
He raced at Penn.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't counting.
Oh, well, I guess we would press that.
Well, I guess that does count as a race, but I mean more
individual race. His last individual race was probably
Fifth Ave?
Yeah.
He paced us in December.
Yeah.
But then he didn't run.
He got
any
injured
others
after
indoors.
that.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Hasn't lost it.
Joe?
No,
Nah,
that's for sure.
Clicker miles, baby.
Yeah.
Although, did you see there's a Strava, I mean, there's probably people that are on Strava, but we did a 17-mile long run, and the first 6 miles were over 6 minutes, and then the last 11 were under 6 minutes. So then his fans in the comments were saying, I only see 11 Clicker miles here. Like, there's just...
Yeah, that's pretty
It's
funny.
becoming a trend now. It's quite funny.
That is pretty
But
hilarious.
no, he did a great job. I'm very happy for him, and it's exciting to run a PB like in the 5K when you have a 13:06 PR beforehand. It's pretty freaking good.
Seriously.
Like,
Yeah.
it's not usual where you can like just chip away at a PB that's 13:0. So
Man is ready for that 10K trials in
yeah, that's going to be a great race.
2 and a bit weeks.
Yeah, it's coming
That's
out really
crazy.
soon.
It's going to be hashtag good for the sport right there.
Yeah, and then the other one that I want to ask you guys about is, what do you think about Jakob? What do you think about the way he raced?
He raced. I think he just raced enough to win. Like he literally, the crowd.
He
loved
only
it.
led the last like 100 meters.
The crowd
right?
loved it because we came back around, George and I, to go and obviously see Joe when he finished. And Jakob was about, I think, 20 meters away from the finish. He secured the win, and he just looks up at the crowd and just briefly like slowed down a little bit, just went like that.
I saw his celebration.
And then he just kept going through, and he ran 13:02.
He looked freaking
And
good.
he looked good, but like it's very hot. Everyone was sweating, and it was like
It's kinda humid.
It's kind of humid. But he did mention in one of his interviews that it was a harder race to win than he expected.
Man, how many interviews of him did you watch?
I didn't watch. I watched one of them. The one I actually watched was the one where he talked about not doing a
Yeah.
because I was changing shoes and he was right there.
Oh, you watched it live in person?
Yeah, and then the other
Nice.
one that he said that the race was hard. I think someone told me that. So that's actually not confirmed. That's just through the
Secondhand.
grades.
Ollie spent
That's
all of
through the grapevine.
Thursday and Friday, well, Wednesday and Thursday talking about Jakob. Though.
Oh no,
Wait,
no,
really?
He kept telling us that he was coming to the shakeout.
Yeah.
And then he was
I
coming.
ca- and
He
people
kept
believe
telling
me
us
too.
that he was coming to dinner with us.
That's
People
hilarious.
believe me, like Alicia and Leah will actually believe me, and I was like, oh, because they were like, oh, we're gonna go, and I was like, can you guys wait because Jakob's coming in like 15 minutes, and they literally believed me. They're like, where is he? And I was like, well, I mean, I just told him not to come anymore, Leah, because you're stressing him out. Like he's a guy that works meticulously. My boy Ingy.
That's funny.
Yeah, but no, it was a pretty awesome race. I actually thought Joe was gonna win it at one point. He looked freaking good. And the Muhammad guy really made that race hard.
Muhammad, that guy seems like the coolest guy in the world.
He was sick. He's from Dortmund.
Looked like Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah,
He's from
so good.
Dortmund in Germany.
He was so good in
And
his
he's a
jersey.
Bayern fan, which means that Carlos would hate him because
Yeah.
Carlos is a Dortmund fan and he lives in Dortmund. Muhammad, but he goes for Bayern. He was a really nice guy. And he's friends with Abdi Hamid too. I think he's Somalian, maybe? I'm not sure, but
Well,
yeah.
he's German, but
Or German, sorry, Somali German.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's been training up in Flagstaff, so
Yeah. Is he
Might check out, man.
managed by Haas or Mike Smith or...
yeah, he's managed by Mike Smith. Mike
Shut
Smith
up,
runs
Ollie.
his life.
Well, I mean, I heard Mike Smith is getting into the agency game because, like, at this point,
coaching both the women's and men's at
NAU
NAU
coaching
and
pros,
coaching pros. It's not enough.
and then
for
he's
him.
going to be an agent because I think he, quote unquote, I heard this through the grapevine from third or fourth or 10 secondhand sources that he said, quote unquote, it's too easy. So, you know, he might become an agent. He might even just run the whole track and field game in the US. I wouldn't be surprised.
He's going
if
for
they
a Sebco's job.
he just takes USATF and then he'll take Sebco's job. Yeah. Smithy.
Yeah. How do we get into that?
I don't even know what Ollie's saying.
I mean, I go on rants. You know this.
This is what happens when. So Ollie's been playing Elden Ring again, and he spends a lot
Why
of
are
time.
you blaming my video games on this?
Because this is literally when it happens. Because you spend a lot of time in your room and you don't talk to anyone. So then when you do come out and talk to people, you have too much stuff to say, and it all comes
all
out.
comes out at once.
Wait, so that's the problem? You think that's a problem? I think it's
I'm
good.
not saying it's a
No.
problem. I'm just saying it's the reason.
Just an observation.
Oh, yeah, sure. Well,
Just
I
a
mean,
thought. It's a
just saying,
hypothesis.
if I was coming out of college, I'd just probably get Mike Smith to manage me as an agent. You know? He'd take 25%.
He can shake
He
it
can
all.
He can take it all. Honestly, I just want the glory. I just want to be able to win.
I just
Mike
want to be
Smith
under
gives
Mike
me
Smith.
glory.
Yeah.
I just want the win, and then he can like do me some vocal lessons. Just work on my voice and my interviews. And
Dude, if we all had voices similar to Mike Smith, this podcast would probably just be...
it'd be number one on.
Number one.
Joe Rogan would be number 2. I tell you.
Yeah.
That-
When are we getting him on the pod? Because his
Yeah.
invitation
I
is
told
getting
him.
limited now from the pacing.
I told him that there was a standing invitation.
Do you think he'll come to us, or do we have to go to him?
I might have to go to him. Well,
I went to him. I was there, but
after
you
the
guys
shoot,
didn't come with me.
After the shoot debacle, I think like we'll probably move to flag anyway. So
we're moving to flag. Confirmed.
We're getting out of here. Confirmed.
Did we say that ever on the podcast that we wanted to move to flag?
Yeah, no, we did. We mentioned it once
we?
before because I think it was when Boulder was dealing with air quality problems or something. Like it was pretty shit here to run.
I know. I spent a few days at medium altitude, like after the meet, and
quote unquote,
it was freaking windy.
It's too bad.
Yeah, but the problem is in Flig, everyone, everyone's just elite. Mike Smith elite. Yeah, but no, it's okay. We went off track.
Do you want to move on?
Yes.
What else have we got from the race, and then we can talk about the magazine.
We should shout out Sage. She had a great race. Alicia, I think she wanted a bit better in her race, but she I went out and went pace like 8K. It was like the 10K. She's just nuts. She gets after it. Carmela, she ran around the same time she did the last time we were here, and then she was throwing up the entire way back. Like she was throwing up at the airport, she was throwing up back here. She had to like lay on our couch for an hour because she was just cooked. So I think she got food poisoning or something.
Yeah, it seems like it, huh?
Because she was really cooked after that 10K, but like more so than just like something
10K.
else was there.
It doesn't seem totally normal
Yeah,
after a 10K.
something happened. So well, she's all better now, which is good. She's just tired, but yeah. So that was pretty much the recap for OAC. Am I missing anyone?
I don't think so.
I think that's it.
That's all. That's
Leah
all
was there doing some media duty.
Yeah, Leah was with a bucket hat and on custom bucket hat, just walking around and doing some influencing for the gang, which is nice.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I guess the natural segue is the magazine, because that was the kind of the influencing stuff that was happening. Is you guys obviously know New Gen Track and Field. They were out here a few weeks ago to get some content on us. The magazine isn't just about us. It's episode 6 of, what's the name of the magazine? Just New Gen Track and Field, I guess?
I think so. And then it's just numbered.
Yeah, so this one is OAC's on fire. And
I like what they did there.
Yeah, it's pretty dude, a lot of good potential on puns out there. But so the thing with the magazine was, and this meet, the kind of connection there was that because On was sponsoring the meet and we were heavily in the magazine, the first 500 magazines were free at the meet, just getting handed out, which was pretty cool. I mean, that's a pretty sweet thing to do. I think then they were selling them, and I'm guessing that they're going to be available for sale online at some point. Don't quote me on that. I'm just guessing that because it's a freaking very professional looking magazine.
It's a beautiful magazine.
They clearly put a lot into it. So I would expect them to sell it online as well. But the article that we did as a group was kind of like an overrated, underrated article. It's called In and Out. Yeah, apparently we're the gatekeepers of what's fashionable and what's not. So
big responsibility.
Yeah. when were we when was this confirmed that we were the gatekeepers? Because I didn't know about this.
Well,
when they offered, I don't know.
It's a lot of pressure. I probably would have refused, but yeah.
Too late now. We can give you a little teaser though.
Yeah.
So then maybe you want to go buy one.
We're gonna go through some of them and discuss them. The ones that I think are probably the most provocative.
All right.
I'm looking at the in list. We'll go through the in list right now. It's funny that Hufflepuff made it on the in list. I think I don't know if that's another shot at Ollie being a Hufflepuff.
It definitely is.
I don't understand this.
I don't know.
But I don't think I put that down there.
I feel like we did together, but I don't know.
No, I think someone came and wrote it down or something. I don't know.
They snuck it into our list.
Yeah, because I'm Slytherin. I'm not Hufflepuff. So.
I think
I thought you were Gryffindor.
No, he was Hufflepuff.
No, I was Slytherin.
You competed. He competed with the Hufflepuff at the.
My final one was Slytherin. That's what I'm telling you right now.
So you self-identify as a Slytherin?
No, I did the test again. And I was Slytherin. So that's what I am.
Not again.
Yeah.
Carlos.
Carlos just came in and said he's a freaking Hufflepuff. All right, we can move past that. The other ins that I found interesting were, there's some obvious ones for us, like toe spaces and team showers and mouth taping. Like, that's just textbook.
Monopoly Deal?
Standard.
Monopoly Deal made it in.
I think that was that seems targeted at me.
What about Easter? Easter's interesting because I don't feel like Easter's
I think that was just the timing of it. I think
it was
Easter
literally just
time.
because it was Easter weekend.
Easter was in at the time.
Yeah.
It's no longer in, so it should get moved now to the out.
That was
column.
very specific.
Shout out to Sam Prakel making the in list.
Sam Prakel did make the in list.
Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
That was also because we were just talking about it at the time. I
Yeah.
think.
One for the boys is beer before races, which I think.
Oh, that's 100% in.
Yeah.
100% in. That's probably on top of the not under rat on skateboard, but near the top.
Should probably clarify.
Did you have a beer the other night?
Yeah.
I missed dinner with you guys, but
Should probably clarify that's the night before the
yeah,
race.
the night before.
Not
Not
actually
actually.
before.
You can try directly before if you want.
One of my personal favorites, Pam Beasley.
Pam Beasley. That was interesting.
It doesn't sound as good when it's in or out, but when it's overrated or under, because that's the underrated list,
Yeah.
right?
See,
In is the underrated, yeah.
yeah, Pam Beasley. I mean, she's. I feel like people think she's hot. I don't know. She's
Well,
pretty
didn't they
lovable.
dress her like so she wouldn't be as attractive or something?
Yeah, because then they have that scene where she puts. Does she put her hair down or put it up when Michael comes and hits on her?
Oh, I
You know what I'm
remember
talking
that,
Isn't that like episode 1?
Yeah, probably. But I think the out list is the more
awesome.
contentious
It's
one.
so good.
Yeah, the out is a lot
We
better.
put both Boulder and Flagstaff on there, which I like because they're both just overrated, kind of, because they get
Yeah.
talked about so much.
Out and also overrated.
Indoor mile times.
Yeah, you skipped over Jack Harlow. He's on our
Jack
out list.
Harlow, 100% out.
I think Jack Harlow just because we're guys.
He's looking for the door.
We're guys. We need to put him on the out list because all the girls just love him.
He's stealing all the girls.
Yeah.
University of Oregon.
That's a no-brainer.
Obviously.
Time trial racing. Craig Ingalls. Jeep
Craig Ingles
Wrangler.
made the out. What do you guys think about Craig Ingles making the out list? Does that feel mean?
No, I think he would take that as a pretty well. I think he'd take that as a
I don't know if he does take stuff well.
I mean, well, if he doesn't, then what's his whole
Sounds
persona?
worse when he was saying he's out. But
Yeah.
otherwise he's overrated, but that's also pretty harsh.
I mean,
Yeah.
we also put Bauman Track Club on the out.
Yeah.
But we probably should have put. I thought we probably should have put
I mean, I like
the female
Craig. It's more
Bauman Track Club are heading out because everyone's leaving. They're going out the door.
Well, we did put podcasts on there, which
Which
was
is
a
funny.
good dig at ourselves.
But Teslas
They're
too.
mostly-
Teslas are out. Oat Milk's out. Long Tides definitely George. Yeah, this
The
list,
the
influencers obviously out. So yeah, I mean I would pay $10 for this.
Is that how
Just
much
for
it
that
costs?
list.
Is that how
I
much?
think it is 10,
That's
right?
pretty good value.
That is good value.
I think
would
it's
say.
$10. I don't want Ben Crawford to DM me after this and be like, "You dickhead, it's not $10." But it's very nice magazine. My
It's
parents,
67 pages long.
it could be more than 10 then. It could be like 15 maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, my hamstring cramped.
Yeah.
If you
kicked
mention
yesterday.
Mike Smith Elite, when you put the code in Mike Smith Elite 10, you get 10% off each magazine.
Yeah.
I'm just on a Mike Smith Elite bandwagon.
I wonder if they will ship internationally. I'm not sure if they do that.
That's a good question. You just check out the website and
Yeah, well,
see.
it's not. I looked. It's not on there yet. So I imagine if it's going to be for sale online, they're going to make a big thing about it. But
Yeah.
maybe they're just too busy right now. I don't know.
Too busy enjoying life.
Yeah.
But no, it's a pretty cool magazine. There's some good articles in here, not just from us. And the photos are really sweet. Joe Hale did a fantastic
It's really
job.
pretty. I'm more of a look at a magazine type of guy than read it.
Yeah.
And
A visual learner.
It ticks those boxes for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's the magazine.
Yep.
And
There's a few thirst traps of Ollie and Morgan in there.
how many
if that's
did
what
you
you're
guys
into.
sign at the meet?
Dude, everyone
A
was
lot.
signing my forehead. Sam Parsons and Joe Klecko were just signing my forehead.
Well, when your forehead is the cover,
Yeah.
it's the perfect spot
pretty
to
easy
sign.
to sign. But no, we signed a lot, and it was pretty awesome because I think, which I liked about it a lot too, was they weren't just getting everyone's autograph on the. So like you're at the meet and you have this magazine and you can like get anyone to sign it. I loved like seeing that magazine having like 10 or 20 signatures because like those kind of moments for fans when you can remember you pick up the magazine and like, oh wow, you know, Jakob Ingebrigtsen, Sam Parsons.
Wait, was
Joe
Jakob
Klecko.
signing them?
Was
Yeah.
it?
No
Yeah.
way. That's sick.
But he probably looked at it and didn't realize it was like a running magazine. He probably thought it was like maybe that's all they had on them. They had to sign something. I mean, Jordy and I signed Vaporflies. We signed Nike hats, Nike bags.
Any non-Nike items?
No, because apparently, like on this.
Some guy asked for my hat
Oh,
after
really?
I'd run and cooled down and worked out, and it was very humid.
He said
And my hat was no, I didn't.
He just put that into his mouth.
Yeah.
All the juices of George.
Yeah. So that's the meet. Anything else to talk about it?
Um.
The only other thing I want to talk about is the Yared thing. Because
Yeah,
that came out
That
today.
is related to the meet.
overall. I would like to say this: as a 1500 meter runner,
Oh yeah, let us know how you feel.
Yeah, the meet they did a great job with pacing, and all those pacers as well were not paid. Those pacers did it because they're good people.
Pretty
so
crazy.
Shout out to all those pacers.
Do we know that?
Yes, for a fact. None of them were paid.
Well, they did say that Jakob wasn't paid, which was crazy.
That is
Jakob
pretty
did not get
crazy.
an appearance fee though.
Yeah.
But I don't like Jakob. Doesn't matter with money with him. I'm talking about like a lot of those runners going out there pacing. Like that was really well by them. Like good for the sport to be able to do that, because most pacers should be getting paid. I feel like all those pacers there should have been getting paid by the meet, but they didn't. The 1500, on the other hand, as I know Josh Kerr loves to rinse it with this sort of thing about people not going for it and going into a more of a tactical race when they're just obviously trying to go for a time. That race, 1500 meter, man, was the most annoying race I've ever seen. I saw Haas. Haas was furious about it, running around the track. He was pissed.
You should say what happened.
So, what was the pacer's name again?
Abe.
So Abe, really good, talented runner. And he was on pace, like perfect on pace. I think he went 43 on the 300. Literally, I think when he got to the bend, there was no one there. Jake Haywood moved into behind him and then just didn't go with the pace. And they all bunched up, no one took it. And then it was like a 206 first 800.
And then it was 202.
201, I
201.
think. 206.
Yeah. I heard 202.
I think that was the women's one.
202 or 201 through the 800, which is very slow. And then they just kicked down really hard. And it was just really annoying because
they're in 339.
They're in 339. It's like good time for a tactical race like that. But what's it going to do for you? Nothing.
Yeah, they're probably trying to run under 335.
Yeah, they're
definitely
trying to run 336, 335 because that's why they're there, you know. And they were all complaining about it afterwards, which was very annoying to hear because as someone who like would commit to the pace, it's like why like you want to run those times? Why wouldn't you just commit? You're fit enough, you know. You're talking in all this big game about closing really hard. Just do it.
Yeah.
But I have to say with Yared was very surprising because this guy, for a prelim at ACCs in wind, ran a 334 solo. There was no pacer there. So it was strange to see him not even be near that. He wasn't even near the front. He was near the back for like the whole race. He never made a move at the front. He was never near any contention. So it was strange.
Yeah, I don't think we would have talked about Yared specifically until this article came out today on Let's Run about him because
but in general, like viewing it as like someone who's like this is one of the best 1500 meter riders in the NCAA who's known to like be able to go out hard.
Yeah.
And him not doing that was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
Because I thought this would be the race where he would run quick. So
yeah, well, he did have his NCAA record taken from him earlier in the season, so this would have been the race to take it back. Would it have counted? Because this doesn't count for regional time. Oh yeah, wait, literally fucking Abdi's time counted. So
that's collegiate record. Yeah,
that's kind of silly to say. But so the article that came out today was on Let's Run, and what happened was Yared's only entered in the 5K at ACCs, and that means that he's not doing the 1500 NCAAs because he doesn't have a time because the times from that meet don't count for regionals, which is kind of confusing.
That is confusing.
But
weren't enough collegiate opportunities or something.
Yeah.
Not enough events that would let in collegiate.
Yeah, so he's not doing the 1500, and this guy obviously is
NCAA champion.
NCAA champion in the 1500. He's a U.S. Olympian in the 1500, and just an amazing 1500 meter runner. I don't even know if he has a 5K time. I think he has to. Does he still have to get it at ACCs? Or does he have a 5K time?
Does it say it in the article? Because I don't think he's running at 5K.
That's a good point.
He's raced at all.
Maybe he's trying to get a regional time at.
What would be the regional
ACC.
time? Like,
It's gonna be so quick this year.
It's probably 13:40 something.
Yeah, it'd be in the 40s, maybe 40s low.
Yeah.
I still feel like he can do that.
Definitely think he can. But so the article was interesting because the quote from his coach Carlson, says that he strained his hamstring in the last 100 of the meet, and that's why he didn't run fast, which is kind of just BS because he wasn't going to run that fast either way. If he didn't strain his hamstring, it's not like he was going to make up a bunch of time in the last 100. And then clearly with Yared, he just hasn't been running quite as well as like up to how good we all know he is. So it feels like there's something bigger probably going on here that no one knows about because they're not being open about it. And then
it could also just not be any of our business. We don't really necessarily like if a private matter and something like that. But it is strange to see an athlete who was feared in the NCAA for his kick and his finish, just not having
Seems like he's just dealt with a few injuries. I feel like Olympics last year, hamstring now. I feel like he had something indoors.
He's had a lot of setbacks. But the one thing that this sport, and I think we've talked about it before, is that it's so easy to be the best one week, and then the next week people forget about you. I feel like with Yared, like right now, he's getting this attention for not running the 15, but I reckon when the 15 goes off, they won't even mention his name.
Really?
I don't know. I feel like he's, like you mentioned, he's had a lot of setbacks and injuries and stuff. And I feel like when that happens to an athlete, they start to fall off the map a little bit. And
people have a short memory.
Yeah.
In this sport.
And I feel like he broke the collegiate record indoor 3K. Like,
yeah, he did.
He's like
only
still
like 2 months ago.
Yeah, and he's still doing he's still racing well. There's just like you said, there probably is a bigger picture thing here that we don't know about. But yeah, it just seems like he's had a lot of setbacks, and his resilience has shown in the 3K indoors, and he had that bad fall in the DMR. Like, there's a lot of things that I think he's had some bad luck as well.
Who knows? Maybe he'll be freaking good at the 5K.
Maybe he's just going to be like a killer 5K.
Make us look dumb and just win NCAAs in the 5K, I guess.
Beat Abdi Hamid in the 5K.
That would be pretty crazy. You are right, though. It is kind of crazy how things can move so quickly, because, I mean, we all obviously still think that he's going to be an amazing pro.
100%.
Like, he's going to be so good for years to come. I do find it interesting. This is very speculative, but if there is something else going on and they're keeping it hush-hush, because this is how Mick was a little bit in college. Mick would not want us to talk about our injuries. And injuries are hard to talk about in terms of where do you talk about them? Because we all have Instagram accounts, and you can easily post an Instagram when you have a good race and there's a nice picture of it and you can tell people. Making an Instagram post about being injured is a pretty hard thing to do. And I don't think any of us would really do it, because it feels and I know it's not, but it kind of feels like an attention grab a bit. I don't know, it just feels weird.
Some athletes have done it, and when they have worded it, I know this is not a good thing for me, perception-wise, to be like, oh, you're just grabbing attention, you're making an excuse. That's not the right way to think about it.
Well, some athletes do it really well,
sometimes I word it in a way in which I look at it and go, oh shit, that sucks.
Yeah.
But then sometimes I look at it and go, oh, you're making an excuse. But either way, I feel like an athlete being able to convey their own story, and be open about injuries and stuff is a thing that's very, very good to be able to do, because I think it's hard to sometimes it's hard to even acknowledge an injury.
It's just hard. It's really hard to talk about something when you're going through it, I guess, because then you don't necessarily have a great understanding of it. You know what I mean? I think once you look back on an injury, it's easy to have some perspective, but at the time, I guess it's really hard to have like clear thoughts in it. So I guess that's another reason why, because I am thinking now, there are a lot of people who are able to share like injuries and all that. And I mean, when there's a long caption on Instagram, to be honest, don't normally read it.
Unless it's like somebody close to me, I don't usually read it.
But,
I mean, Carlos is, like, for example, like I read that, but usually when a post is that long, I usually just don't read it.
Yeah, but some people do it and they do it really well. And I think there is a lot of value in that to people that are struggling with injury, to read about other people going through similar stuff and maybe giving some wisdom on what worked for them or whatever. But I do find it interesting because I don't know, this is why I said it's speculative. Like, if Yared is going through something and he's just keeping it quiet, I don't know. I don't know if you would get value. Like, if people knew that you were injured and that's why you were racing bad, if it's better to do that or it's better to just race bad.
Or like, if you're injured, don't race at all.
Well, that's not really. Like, he's going to race still, clearly.
Yeah, I know, but and that's what the NCAA system is. You kind of like, oh, I got to race. Like, nationals coming up. Like, their schedule's so set. If you're okay in some degree, but still have an injury, you probably will be forced to race. But that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Because you're going in defeated. Well, not defeated, sorry. You're going in as a wounded soldier, kind of. You're not really like at your best.
Yeah.
Which mentally must be freaking tough.
But yeah, again, it's like we didn't actually know that he's injured. Apart from the fact that his coach just said that he's strained his hamstring.
That sounds like an injury to me. Unless Carlson is talking complete BS. That's an injury.
Yeah.
Whether it's big or small, it's an injury.
Yeah.
And that's if that's an excuse for him to not do the 1500, do the 5K, you're blaming that on an injury that he has. So he's going in my perception, injured. So I'm seeing him as an injured athlete running a 5K. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of weird to say that.
Yeah. I mean, Yared, we met Yared. You guys have met him before. I met him for the first time a few weeks ago when he was out here, and I guess he's also just like a bit of a shy guy. He's not like super open, so
he's pretty chill.
He's very chill.
Pretty chill guy. He's freaking good at Mario Kart. Holy shit.
He's really good at Mario Kart.
He's probably one of the best Mario Kart players I've ever seen.
Easily the best.
He is ridiculous. It's almost insulting for me to be a video gamer when he can destroy me at Mario Kart. He's unbelievable.
I knew as soon as we asked him, like, what do you do? And he's like, oh, I play Mario Kart. I knew it was going to be so good. I knew he was going to come and just absolutely destroy us.
Yeah, but he's a legend. He's a great guy. And, US Olympian. And, yeah, well, hopefully that strain isn't going to hurt him too much and he can get back and race to the best he can.
Yeah, I just want to see him healthy again, racing, give him some competition to Ollie and to like Cole Hocker.
I mean, Cole right now is kind of getting a bit sidelined from Cooper Teardrop because Cooper's been dropping these times. Like he had that 3:53 anchor and then he ran a 3:34 like with Cole pacing him.
Oh really?
At a recent meet where it was like pouring with rain. So Cooper Teardrop is looking pretty good now.
That time trial really went under the radar.
It did.
Another Oregon.
Was that this past weekend?
Yeah.
It did, but the reason why it did is because people are paying attention to sound running.
It's true.
They're not paying attention to a time trial at Hayward Field because Cooper is too scared to get on a plane. But I'm joking. I definitely kid. But I mean, like if you got the system, use the system. It's working for him 100%. But having Cole, Cooper Teardrop, and Yared Nuguse all healthy and racing each other. It's pretty sick. It's pretty awesome to see like this much amount of talent going at each other. So I'm really excited to see them hopefully all back healthy and just ripping it.
Wait, does Cooper have the 5K time yet?
Yep, he ran 13:06 in that other time trial.
Oh, I forgot about that one as well.
Another time trial he won. He's been winning a lot, really. He's been winning a lot of time trials. Is that?
Yeah.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah. You can still win them.
Yeah, I mean, people could call the race that we paced a time trial, but I feel like that was more of a race.
The race that you paced had 10 people still together with a lap or 2 laps to go.
So I'd say it's pretty more of a race, right? Would you call that? Because
they were racing at the end.
It was just a well-paced race, I would say. I think
textbook George.
Time trial is more when there's just only 2 or 3 people in it, I feel like. But yeah, whatever. Moving on from that, that's sound running. That's everything.
That's sound running. That was everything. Thank you so much to everyone, all the fans coming out too and getting the stickers. Really appreciate you guys coming out.
Yeah, how many stickers you guys hand out?
I handed out all of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
Nice. Dude, gotta make some more. Actually, we did just get a box of new ones, so got a lot of stickers. I hope that when you guys go to Europe, people want stickers as well.
It'd be awesome at Birmingham. If
how many Coffee Club fans we got in Birmingham?
Yeah.
At least, I'm gonna say at least one.
Yeah. So. Hopefully. That's kind of the only other thing we have to talk about next week is that on Sunday of this week, these boys already head off again. You guys have been traveling and doing so much stuff, which is cool. It's cool stuff. Sometimes a little overwhelming, but you guys are going to Birmingham to race the Diamond League on Saturday of next week.
Mm-hmm. Leaving correct? Sunday, so going pretty early. Spending a few days in Teddington. Well, we think. We haven't locked that down.
We haven't locked down accommodation, but we'll be in that area. I know a lot of Aussies go there quite a bit, so it's a pretty cool place to be. George's debut Diamond League.
It is.
Very exciting.
Wow, that's cool.
We've got
a little rematch with Ollie since from our last 1500.
It'll be exciting. Hopefully,
this one Ollie's gonna have his spikes though, probably. So I've got less of an advantage over him.
I'm very excited because I think. And I don't know how George feels, but when you get to race a Diamond League, because Morgan and I have been able to have the privilege of doing it, it's a pretty cool experience. Top level.
It's the pinnacle
of our sport. So to be able to do one at any point in your career is an absolute privilege. So I'm excited for George to experience it in Birmingham.
I think they have completely renovated that stadium too.
They have for Commonwealth Games.
The track is bright blue.
It's very, very pretty.
Oh, that sounds nice.
So I'm very excited.
New practice track, and I think they've done a ton of new stuff for the Com Games, and then I guess this is like a little test.
So it's going to be a great field. We got Josh Kerr.
Yeah, we'll talk about it definitely a lot more next week, but it's like a crazy good 1500 field, huh?
And Doha before it is quite good, and then Birmingham's going to be good, and then we got
the week after.
Yeah.
So that's only 1 week after?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So moving in is going to be tough.
Really need those 30 high schoolers to come help us out.
And it's been confirmed that Ollie gets to take on the Oregon Challenge, not me. Yeah. With both of them.
Teardrop and Hull Cocker are both in the Bauman Mile. So
it's all rests on Ollie's shoulders.
I'm going to be wearing some nose tape.
Nose tape?
Hopefully just to keep my nose from breaking.
I didn't know what we were talking about.
Yeah. So that's a reference to, was it like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, when I said that if they beat me, they can punch me in the face. Which, I mean, it's a pretty likely option that they could beat me and then punch me in the face.
I wonder if they know about that. I wonder if anyone around them listens to the show and told them, hey, just so you know, Ollie said that you can punch me in the face if you beat him at this meet.
I think they would enjoy that. I'm sure Cooper would get a kick out of it.
What did you get out of it?
What do I get out of it? Well,
nothing. Because
hopefully I get nothing out of it and I beat them.
So you just get the satisfaction.
I get the satisfaction that they didn't punch me.
It's pretty.
We were hoping for a reply, but it's been radio silence.
I mean, like then when they'll start their podcast,
us.
Two Ducks, or Duck the Race. I'm sure.
Duck Goose. That'd be a good podcast.
Duck Goose. Yeah, no, they should get one with Yared.
Yared. Wait, who is the premier goose man? Is it Jordan Gusman or Yared Nuguse?
See, Guzman. I feel like Guzman might have coined it before.
He's been calling himself or being called the Goose Man for a long time.
Yeah, so he's probably coined it before, but Yared's probably more well known as the Goose just through college.
The Goose is loose.
The Goose is loose and stuff, but I'd say they're both the geese.
A couple of geese.
A couple of geese.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I'm excited for those races, and then we go to Europe, and that's gonna be pretty sweet.
Yeah, so getting into it. Yeah, I think that's kind of it for today. Nice and. Well, not short, pretty normal length.
But
yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for. I think we're all in a really good place besides just being tired. So
yeah,
I'm excited for the next few weeks. It's kind of the business side of the season. So
came up real quick.
Sure did.
Yeah, so that's it for today, guys. Thanks for listening. We will catch you next time.